Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, we'll have the latest on the top story you've been covering. The Senate passing the debt limit deal. It's now on the way to President Biden's desk. Rachel Scott is on the Hill, and she'll break it all down. And our ABC News exclusive with the cheerleader who was shot after her teammate accidentally opened the door to the wrong car. She sat down with Michael to tell her story for the first time about that fateful day and how she's fighting to get her life back. You'll see those stories and so much more right here on GMA.
The Scripps National Spelling Bee has a new champion. Florida's 8th grader Dev Shaw won the title earlier last night with the word Samophile. Correct spelling, P-S-A-M-M-O-P-H-I-L-E. It's an organism that prefers or thrives in sandy soils or areas. You're watching GMSA. Coming up the next hour of the morning show. Closing argument set for today in the retrial of Mark Howerton. What the jury could do next over the weekend. Plus, a graduate at Our Lady of the Lake University was able to balance her busy schedule while following her dream to become a pharmacist. How she pulled it off, still ahead. And one of the most highly anticipated movies of the year swings into theaters today. We're talking about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Up next, a preview. And checking TransGuide. So far, so good on the roads, except for some construction. Right now, you're looking live at I-10 at Medical and I-35 at Ben Zingelman, where traffic is really starting to pick up in and out of town. There's I-35 at New Braunfels Avenue. You're watching GMSA on your Friday.
This morning on GMSA, San Antonio firefighters are working to figure out what sparked the fire on the city's west side, how much the damage could cost the homeowner, plus
the people who negotiated this, I wouldn't let them buy me a car.
The debt ceiling deal is on the way to President Biden's desk after a late night vote in the U.S. Senate. What's in the bill and what's got both sides fired up this morning?
And let's look out there with live cam this Friday morning. We're looking forward to some changes over the weekend, but we're going to be checking in with Mike to see what the forecast will be.
Live from KSAT 12. Good morning, San Antonio starts right now.
Shoo, good morning. You made it to Friday. It is June 2nd.
Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us. Yes, this weekend, we're looking forward to it, but Mike says even though we expect showers, it shouldn't be a rain out.
That's right. Mike is here with more on that and a look at our temperatures headed into the first weekend of June.
Yes, indeed. And temperatures are going to be at or a little bit below normal like they've been all week long. And it has been seasonably hot the past couple of days. Got up to 90 yesterday. We'll do it again today and again tomorrow. And things are starting to, well, there's one little hole up where that airplane just flew by in the clouds. But we do have a fairly decent cloud cover out there as of right now. We also have some fog in and around New Braunfels. Then up north of there, if you're going up 35 in towards San Marcos, you're going to run into some of that fog, a hint of it around Gonzales, so we'll keep watching that. And then also there may be one or two of those little sprinkles out there like we had around yesterday. Not any big deal, just kind of a gee whiz, if you will. Temperatures are very consistent, low 70s, right where about it should be this time of year. And the humidity is there. You have dew points in the low 70s. It's getting there to where you do definitely notice it when you step outside. And throughout the rest of today, we are going to make it up to 84 at noon, 90 high temperature, sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds. And again, one or two of those sprinkles this morning. Then tonight, we're going to be watching a cluster of thunderstorms trying to develop northwest of the hill country and then work its way into the hill country. Some of those could be on the strong, potentially severe side. And so that's why Storm Prediction Center does have the isolated risk, an isolated strong severe storm from, say, Junction down toward Lakey, Uvalde, Rock Springs, a little bit better chance, some scattered, and then an even better chance further northwest of our area where sort of the bullseye is for some of that potentially severe development. So we'll keep tracking those tonight, and then we do have more rain chances coming in here tomorrow as well as Sunday. As Steph was alluding to, not a rain out, but probably rainier, if you will, on Sunday. We'll get that all sorted out in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen, any big problems out there?
No, Mike. Actually, things have been pretty quiet over here in the traffic lab. Let's get a quick look around town. I-10 at the Y. As we get a look, we're seeing maybe a few more folks out there this early in the morning. Check out 10 at West Avenue. The east and westbound lanes may have a few more folks, but we showed you a shot a little bit earlier of 35 at New Braunfels where we had a lot more activity out there. And there at Ben Zingelman, the same story goes. So you could see the commute is definitely moving this this morning. The real topic has been a lot of the overnight construction. You can see a little bit of that scattered in and around the Alamo City, but I also noticed that there was a slowdown taking place along I-10 westbound. If you're traveling in from Seguin, I'll step out of the map so that way you could see traffic's moving pretty slow through that area at 26 miles per hour. We do know that there's a lot of road construction taking place out in that area, so let's take a look to see if that's impacting our travel times along I-10 westbound. Because if you are traveling in from Seguin, thankfully you're still in the green there, but about a 32-minute commute to the downtown area. 33 minutes if you're traveling along 87 northbound from Lavernia. That's the normal drive time. And for our friends down in Floresville, it should take you about a 29-minute commute to get here to San Antonio. But let's get it back on TransGuide. Back here in town, 281 at San Pedro, you can see we do have a lot more folks out there. It's 6 a.m., so we expect the roads to get a little bit more busy. We'll keep a close eye on things, and I'll have more updates coming up a little bit later on. Guys.
Thank you, sir. New this morning, San Antonio fire investigators working to figure out what sparked a house fire on the city's west side. Crews were called out to the 2900 block of Chihuahua Street just after 11 last night. That's near Guadalupe Street and Castroville Road. They tackled a blaze inside a newly built or remodeled home and say the home suffered around $30,000 in damages. No injuries were reported.
More than 2 years after Bexar County prosecutors say Elena Carranza slammed into a minivan, killing a couple and injuring their 4 children, she was sentenced to 15 years in prison. Carranza received that sentence yesterday after accepting a plea deal. Back in the spring of 2021, she was indicted on 2 counts of intoxication manslaughter. Prosecutors say on January 3rd, 2021, Carranza was drinking at a bar on the Riverwalk and got behind the wheel of a pickup truck. They say 2 hours later, police in Helotes were responding to this scene. 54-year-old Craig Smith and his wife, 39-year-old died at that scene. Their children are all under the age of 16 at the time. They were all taken to the hospital. As part of her plea deal, Carranza was given 30 years total for both manslaughter charges, but her sentences will run concurrently, so she will serve 15 years.
Topping your morning headlines, the bipartisan deal to raise the debt ceiling now headed to President Biden's desk. The Senate passed the bill overnight, a day after it won support in the House. The deal helps the U.S. avoid its first ever default. It was brokered by the president and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Suspends the debt ceiling until January 2025 and pulls back billions in COVID and IRS funding. It also preserves programs including Social Security and veterans benefits. However, it's clear both sides didn't get everything they wanted.
The people who negotiated this, I wouldn't let them buy me a car.
This debt ceiling agreement will cut programs for some of the most vulnerable people in America.
Before the bill was passed, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen had warned a U.S. default would potentially trigger an economic crash here in America. President Biden is expected to address the nation tonight.
On Monday, we will be airing A Case That Explains on the debt ceiling, and we're going to take a look at what it is, where it came from, and why it's not exactly synonymous with spending limits. That's Monday on Case That Explains, and you can watch it on the news at 6.
Meanwhile, we're getting a first look at that apartment building collapse up in Davenport, Iowa. It was all caught on camera this past Sunday.
And as ABC's Rihanna Nally reports, 3 people are still unaccounted for, and there are plenty of questions about the collapse.
This morning, ABC obtaining new video showing the moment that apartment building in Davenport, Iowa, partially collapsed. The Nest camera shows the wall starting to buckle, debris falling down before the entire wall comes crashing down. The video ends as the collapse cuts the power line. Overnight, officials in Davenport releasing a new missing persons poster with a 3rd person, Daniel Prian, who police say, along with Brandon Colvin and Ryan Hitchcock, had a high probability of being home at the time of the collapse.
His apartment was also related to the area where we had the collapse in the building.
Meanwhile, the mayor says the search of the wreckage is no longer a rescue mission, but a recovery.
Trying to save a life? Trying to save a life? Trying to save a life?
Yesterday, a man was arrested after he trespassed at the scene of the collapse. Family and community members say they are frustrated with the search and investigation as they process the grief of having potentially lost a loved one. Brandon Colvin's son has been sleeping near the scene. His mother says he's set to graduate from high school this weekend.
I tried to drop him off to Tuesday to school to do his finals. Because what else are we supposed to do? Okay, you have to go finals, so try. and he just broke down and ran right back here. So in my mind, it's just like if he needs to sleep here to satisfy his mind and soul, it's like I'll sleep right there with you, baby.
Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
And right now on KSAT.com, Fort Bragg in North Carolina will shed its Confederate namesake to become Fort Liberty later today. The change is part of a Department of Defense initiative motivated by the 2020 George Floyd protests to rename military installations bearing the name of Confederate soldiers. A naming commission created by Congress visited bases and met with members of the surrounding communities for input. The cost to rename Fort Bragg, which is one of the largest military installations in the world by population, will total about $6.37 million. In
case you missed it last night, the Denver Nuggets took Game 1 of the NBA Finals 104-93 over the Miami Heat. Denver was led by two-time league MVP Nikola Jokic, who got a triple-double in the finals debut with 26 points from guard Jamal Murray. Denver is still unbeaten at home, and the winners of Game 1 of the finals go on to win the title nearly 70% of the time.
All right.
Do you watch any of it last night?
I did the beginning, but I was asking my husband about it. He was like, "It's getting a little boring because they're just winning. they're just ahead the whole time." I'm like, "Well, that's good news for the
Denver dominated,
for the Nugget fans out there."
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Time right now is 6:09, 72 degrees.
And still to come, customers of Venmo, PayPal, and other apps are being warned about their money and why it might not be safe. We're going to explain before 6:30.
And after the break, Marvel Mania is back with the most highly anticipated sequel of the year. We're talking about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse next.
And let's look out there with a live cam. Not too bad this morning, 72 degrees, and expect things to heat up again today. But this weekend, we do have chances of rain. We're going to check in with Mike for all those details for the weekend and actually next week as well. We'll be right back.
6:13. Welcome back. A tropical depression forming in the Gulf of Mexico right on cue for the second day of the hurricane season.
As ABC's Andrew Dimbert reports, no watches or warnings are posted, but forecasters in Florida are watching that storm closely.
This morning, the Air Force hurricane hunters launching a plane to collect data from a tropical system forming in the Gulf of Mexico just hours after the official start of hurricane season. It's just off Florida's west coast, where some are still recovering from being battered by Hurricane Ian last September. Forecasters say the new storm does not pose a threat to the U.S.
This is actually going to start traveling south, a very strange direction for a tropical system to travel. They usually like to go north, not south.
It comes as forecasters predict a near normal hurricane season in the Atlantic this year, with a range of 12 to 17 named storms and 5 to 9 hurricanes. And while the worst of hurricane season is yet to come, parts of the south are dealing with heavy rain and flooding now. Overnight flood watches issued for South Florida as localized storms brought heavy rain. The West Coast is also dealing with an abundance of water from snowmelt. The wealth of water is even affecting businesses. Lake Tahoe's Truckee River Rafting says they are canceling their rafting season this year, saying there's just too much water to safely raft. One place that could use some water, the Phoenix area. The state of Arizona is now limiting construction, saying there is not enough groundwater to support some new projects.
That's why, as required by law, we will pause approvals of new assured water supply determinations that rely on pumping groundwater, ensuring that we don't add to any future deficit.
As one expert put it, Arizona can now see the end of sprawl. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Happening today, the sequel to the Oscar-winning animated Spider-Man movie is swinging back into theaters. Shameik Moore back as the voice of Miles Morales in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. The animated adventure is the sequel to 2018's Academy Award-winning Into the Spider-Verse. Early reviews are very good so far, with a 95% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
And today is National Donut Day. Donut Day goes all the way back to World War I, when the Salvation Army served up donuts to troops on the front lines, oftentimes cooked in oil in soldiers' helmets. To celebrate today, a number of bakeries and shops are giving away free donuts, including Krispy Kreme and Dunkin'. And our Alyssa Cole will be live this morning at 6 morning with how you can get your free donut.
Donuts for the Doughboys back in the day, right?
Yeah.
All right, 6:16 on your Friday morning. Glad you're with us.
Let's check in with Stephen Cavazos to see if things are clear so you can get your free donut.
Well, I was hoping Alyssa could just bring some of those back to us.
Right?
I mean, right? I don't know.
Somebody text her.
Let's text her.
Yeah, you know what? I'll get right on
All
top
of
of
us
that
text
here.
her.
No pressure, Alyssa.
Well, you know what? There shouldn't be any issues if anyone is planning on heading out to get a donut or a cup of coffee this morning. Thankfully, you're in the clear 35 at Ben Zingelman. You can see traffic is just getting a little bit busier, but it's not really too bad out there. I've not spotted any red on our maps, and the TransGuide cameras have showed us a pretty good commute for a lot of people out there. So just be prepared. It looks like there may be a stalled vehicle somewhere around Crossroads. We see the traffic is moving there pretty smoothly, though. No red or yellow that's being picked up. But as I mentioned, construction, US 90 at Medina County, around that line there, we have cable barrier installation. This work started on Tuesday and is wrapping later this afternoon around 3 o'clock, but that work does start around 9 in the morning. We'll see a single eastbound lane closure from FM 471 to Metchler Lane. So just make sure that you plan ahead. Although we're not seeing any slowdowns just yet, we expect to see a lot more folks hit the roadways as we get the Friday morning commute rolling. And I like the strawberry donuts. I like raspberry filling. So but I'm also a good guy. I like the traditional donuts.
Like glazed?
Fancy on that.
Cake or yeast donuts?
Cake.
Okay.
I don't know if I've had a yeast donut.
Well, that would be like a Krispy Kreme.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
They're a little
Okay.
lighter instead of the cakey type donuts. Cake donut with a little cinnamon sugar on it.
Yeah.
Those are
Okay.
very good. But favorite donut, please?
Chocolate,
I
of
already did
course.
mine.
Chocolate with more chocolate.
Like a
Maple glazed.
maple brand.
Yeah,
Do you
maple-
like bacon on yours? Anyone have
sure.
Bacon on yours?
Bacon's good with everything. Steve.
Bacon is literally good with everything. I put bacon on bacon.
Well, and a warm Shipley's. Oh, heavens to Murgatroyd. All right.
It's time.
Take a look outside. The moon is going to be full on Sunday. Gorgeous, gorgeous picture out there of the waxing gibbous moon. Thank you very much for that KSAT Connect shot. We're not seeing any, well, obviously the moon would be setting on the other side, but not seeing any good sunrise this morning. Things are lightening up, but we have all those clouds hanging around here. We do have some fog as well up around San Marcos, still reporting some, and a hint of it around New Braunfels. Also, even though there's nothing showing up on radar right now, just watch out for a little sprinkle like we had around here yesterday. We just got all that moisture being pumped on in here from the Gulf of Mexico. So there's that 10% chance for, again, a little stray sprinkle hanging around here through 9, maybe 10 o'clock in the morning. That'll be about it. And then we'll see sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds today. 84 at noon. 90 at 4 o'clock. That's the high temperature today. Normal average 91. Keep pointing that out because we don't have anything too extreme as far as temperatures. So that's just fantastic news. And we're even going to be a little bit further below normal as we go on into the latter part of the weekend and the first part of next week. Computer model, we've got, again, a mixture of sunshine and clouds around here. And then by dinner time, we're going to start to watch as some of these thunderstorm cells develop out there to the west. Now, this is that rapid update model. It's not as it came in with the latest model run. It's not as aggressive with those showers and thunderstorms, but there will still be some of those. They'll kind of hang together moving in through the hill country then late tonight and then begin to die off, perhaps holding together long enough to make it even as far as I-35. Now, we go into then tomorrow and throughout the day, a couple of stray showers are going to be possible. Then we go into the evening hours and we'll start to see more of those thunderstorms developing, even I think a little bit broader coverage. And also we could see some of those to be on the potentially some heavy downpours with that, but some may be strong to potentially severe. So here's what it looks like today, or tonight I should say, out to the west from Leakey, Uvalde down toward Eagle Pass. One or two may become, or a smaller chance, a 1 in 5, one out of a scale of 1 to 5 chance to see some of those become strong to severe. And then that gets bumped up to a 2 and then to a 3 well out northwest of our area. So there is going to be kind of a bullseye, if you will, further on out to the north and west. And then tomorrow, even that chance for a couple of those storms to be on the stronger side. Once we get into Sunday, then we will have, even though that's kind of broad brush, but we will have a few afternoon showers, a couple of thunderstorms popping up all the way in through the middle portion of next week. So it's not going to rain everywhere. It's not going to rain constantly, but at least there will be those few showers and thunderstorms here and there as opposed to not having anything. So again, tonight we're going to watch out for some of those thunderstorm cells to develop out there in the western parts of the hill country. And then tomorrow, a scattered shower or two during the day. Outdoor plans, go with it. But then tomorrow evening, more out in the hill country, and then just the scattered variety. Sunday, I think a slightly better chance of rain on Sunday, but Monday, Tuesday, in through the middle of next week, and temperatures are being held down. So, hallelujah, great looking forecast for the first full week of June.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. We'll take it, Mike. Thank you.
621, 73 degrees.
Up next, a new virtual reality headset will land in stores later this year. How it's different from previous versions and how much it's going to cost you.
Choosing a treatment for your chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more, can be overwhelming. So ask your doctor about Botox. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine before they even start. It's the ¡1 prescribed branded chronic migraine treatment. So far, more than 5 million Botox treatments have been given to over 850,000 chronic migraine patients.
Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
In a survey, 92% of current users said they wish they talked to their doctor and started Botox sooner. So ask your doctor if Botox is right for you. Learn how AbbVie could help you save on Botox.
In your consumer headlines, a new warning about your money. If you're using it and to store money on payment apps like Venmo and PayPal, it may not be protected by the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Federal watchdogs say users risk losing their money if the companies behind those apps actually fail.
Google Wallet will soon let you save passes and membership cards just by taking a picture. The feature will work as long as the item has a QR code or barcode. Google will also be able to support digital IDs just like Apple, and that includes driver's licenses and health insurance cards.
Meta's new virtual reality headset is being called the Quest 3. It's 40% slimmer than its predecessor and it's double the processing power. The unveiling came days before Apple's expected to announce its new VR headset. Quest 3 will be out in the fall with a $500 price tag. Apple's is apparently going to run about $3,000.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Well, the ads for it make it look pretty fun.
Competition begins.
Yeah, it does. Time now 6:25 and 73 degrees for now.
Still ahead at 6:30. Closing arguments set for today in the retrial of Mark Howerton. What the jury could do next over the weekend. Plus.
So I want to be like a bilingual pharmacist because there is a real big disparity in the number of pharmacists that can actually speak Spanish.
One graduate at Our Lady of the Lake University was able to balance her busy schedule while following her dream to become a pharmacist. How she pulled it off, just ahead.
If you have to head out the door in the next 4 minutes or so as we approach the bottom of the hour, the roads look great right now. We haven't seen any problems right now, and we don't think that overnight construction is an issue any longer. Looking live at 281 at Hildebrand at the curve, 281 at San Pedro up by the airport, and you're watching GMSA. We'll be back.
This morning, the nation now spared a first ever default after the Senate passed a bipartisan deal to raise the U.S. debt limit. I'm ABC's Justin Finch with what Republicans demanded first.
And also this morning on GMSA, there are free donuts available today in San Antonio for National Donut Day. Alyssa Cole tells us how you can get them with a donation to a good cause coming up.
But first, outside with live cam, this looks very much like the last couple of mornings here in San Antonio and South Texas. Mike has your weekend forecast coming up.
And good morning. It is 6:30 on Friday, June 2nd.
Good to have you with us as we start out our Friday morning. Mike is here with a discussion about chance of a shower or storm later tonight, right?
Yes, indeed. We'll be watching that out, especially in parts of the hill country. But back to, you said looks a lot like the past couple of mornings, feels a lot like the past couple of mornings. We're not seeing any real spectacular sunrise at all. We also have a little bit of fog. There's some up around San Marcos. Hint of it there at Pleasanton, New Braunfels, Gonzales, elsewhere is not bad. But just, again, watch out for a couple of patches of fog here and there. A little light sprinkle is possible again this morning, like we had a couple of them around down here yesterday. Very consistent temperatures right now, and that's thanks to the cloud cover and all that humidity out there. Although it's not like it's in, wet towel sort of humidity, but it's noticeable. That's the best way to put it when you step outside. But temperatures are not too extreme. We are going to be up to 90 today, normal 91, partly cloudy skies. Yes, some humidity out there. And then later on tonight, that's when we start to watch those storms. And they'll be developing out in northwestern portions of the hill country and then working their way across the hill country into the evening hours. And there is the chance, I'll show you this in just a moment, that some of those may be on the severe side. Tomorrow, 90 once again. Couple of stray showers or thunderstorms during the day, and then we've got another batch of storms that are going to try and develop and work their way primarily in the hill country, and maybe even a couple of heavier downpours associated with that. Going into Sunday and next week, scattered showers, thunderstorms here and there, a little bit better chance, just one or two of them during the day, and then we'll still keep a couple of them around even going into next week with temperatures only in the mid 80s. But for tonight, yes, we do have that risk for a few of those to become severe. Lakey, Uvalde, 1 on a scale of 1 to 5, and then that gets bumped up a little bit out toward Rock Springs, Del Rio, and that gets bumped up even more as far as the risk for anything severe. Any more severe storms, we'll talk about that over the weekend. And then again, look at some of the details going into next week as far as temperatures and rain chances. That's coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority. Any big problems out there?
No big problems, Mike. Thankfully, things have been pretty good over here, but I did catch some flashing lights here at TransGuide. It does look like this is a stalled vehicle that's been reported along 410 westbound at Vance Jackson Road, and you can see that we do have some TxDOT Hero trucks on the scene, but I've noticed that there are a few other vehicles out there on the shoulder lane, about 3 vehicles, a few of them with their emergency lights on, so you know what to do. Make sure to move over or slow down. Thankfully, I'm not catching any big slowdowns there, but you could definitely see from this shot that we have a lot of folks out there this early in the morning, and we expect the roads to get even busier as the commute does get rolling. But giving you a wide look at the map, we've not caught any major congestion just yet, so that's the good news. You can see a lot of it is pretty green, and thankfully we're not catching any other incidents either except for that stalled vehicle. And if you are traveling into San Antonio this early, thankfully it's about a 29-minute commute if you're heading in from Pleasanton along 37 northbound. We're not in the red yet, so I have to fix this on our graphics, but about 30 minutes along US 90 eastbound from Castroville. That's the usual drive time, so now would be the perfect time to take advantage of some of those roadways. And the arrival from Lytle along 35 northbound should take you about 17 minutes. So good news there. But let's get it back here. Hopefully this scene will clear up. You can see some of those TxDOT Hero crews are actually on the scene, and hoping that this will clear up pretty soon. But just make sure to watch out for any of those flashing lights out on the highway, guys.
Thank you, Stephen. And to our top story this morning, a bipartisan deal to raise the debt ceiling is headed to the President Biden's desk.
ABC's Justin Finch reports the Senate passed the bill overnight, a day after winning support in the House.
With only days to spare, the Biden-McCarthy debt ceiling deal cleared the Senate.
The yeas are 63, the nays are 36. The 60-vote threshold having been achieved, the bill is passed.
The upper chamber passing the compromise legislation after racing through a series of amendment votes and incoming fire from some senators on the right and left.
The people who negotiated this, I wouldn't let them buy me a car.
This debt ceiling agreement will cut programs for some of the most vulnerable people in America.
In a statement, President Biden thanks Senate leaders for quickly passing the bill and adding no one gets everything they want in a negotiation, and calling the bipartisan agreement a big win for our economy and the American people. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer hailing Democrats for pushing the package through Congress.
We did a very good job of taking the worst parts of the Republican plan that would have hurt so many families, and we took those worst parts off the table.
Senate Republicans winning guarantees the chamber will also consider future national security and defense spending increases, including aid for Ukraine.
We cannot neglect our fundamental obligation to address the nation's most pressing national security challenges.
The deal, brokered by the president and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, suspends the debt ceiling until January 2025, pulls back billions in COVID and IRS funding, and preserves programs including Social Security and veterans benefits. Congress managed to pass the deal before June 5th when Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warned the U.S. could default and potentially trigger an economic crash. The president now set to sign the bill soon and address the nation tonight. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
We'll let you know Monday we'll be airing a KSAT Explains on the debt ceiling. We'll take a look at what it is, where it came from, and why it's not exactly synonymous with spending limits. That's Monday on KSAT Explains on the news at 6.
And happening today, closing arguments are set in the retrial of Mark Howerton. A jury is expected to begin deliberations after 2 weeks of testimony. Howerton is charged in connection to the 2017 murder of his girlfriend and Trinity University student Kaylee Mondotti. You can read more about the case right now on our website at ksat.com. And new details this morning on a story we have been following closely. The Texas House impeachment team announced 2 lawyers who will be leading the case against Ken Paxton. The 2 attorneys are Houston-based lawyer Dick DeGuerin and Rusty Hardin.
The people of the state of Texas are entitled to know whether their top cop is a crook. We intend to present these 20 articles of impeachment in a fair way.
Both attorneys have been a part of numerous high-profile cases. DeGuerin was one of the attorneys for the Branch Davidian leader David Koresh during the 1993 Waco standoff. Ken Paxton's trial is expected to take place no later than August 28th. And it's Friday, and what better way to kick off the weekend than with a free donut?
You can get one at HEB today in support of the Salvation Army, but first you have to make a donation.
Alyssa Cole joins us live outside the Salvation Army Center of Hope Corps downtown. Alyssa, tell us more about the event.
Good morning, you all. Yes, it's the big ol' donut fundraiser. It's National Donut Day, you all. This is exciting because HEB will be giving back 2% of their sales for all donut purchases to go towards Salvation Army to benefit the Salvation Army. And like you all mentioned, you will get a free donut as a little courtesy, a way to say thank you or gracias since we're here in South Texas, right? So a lot of you may be wondering why. Why the big give back? Well, did you all know the Salvation Army were the actual originators of the National Donut Day, and it started 84 years ago.
National Donut Day pays homage to the donut lassies who were Salvation Army volunteers. They were on the front lines making donuts for the troops during World War I. So Roxanne is really in character here. She is a donut lassie today for this occasion. So years later, during the Great Depression, the Salvation Army in Chicago started National Donut Day as a fundraiser to raise funds. And since then, it stuck, and it's become a good excuse for everybody to have a donut at least once a year.
Okay, you guys, in my opinion, you should have more than one donut a year, right? And I tried to come up with this joke to make you all laugh this morning, because if you have just one donut a year, you do not want it to lead to depression. So I don't know. What do you think of that, Mike? Let me know. Well, the money raised will go towards emergency services, groceries, veteran support, and tons of other social services the Salvation Army provides. So don't forget, between today and June 6th, when you make a purchase of a donut, that 2% will go towards the Salvation Army, helping the local families here in need around the San Antonio metropolitan area. So treat yourself to a donut. It's Friday, you guys. I'll send it back to you all in the studio.
Not bad, Alyssa, not bad.
Yeah, okay. Happy Friday.
Her joke had no hole in it at all, did it? By the way, on KSAT.com, we have an article about where to get the goods today, including Duck Donuts, Dunkin', Crispy, and Shipley. Yes, ma'am.
Want to make sure you got them all.
We're on the same page. 640, 73 degrees.
And here's what's coming up next on GMSA.
So I want to be like a bilingual pharmacist, because there is a real big disparity in the number of pharmacists that can actually speak Spanish.
One graduate at Our Lady of the Lake University was able to balance her busy schedule while following her dream to become a pharmacist. How she pulled it all off, just ahead.
6:43. We forgot one more donut place. Voodoo Donuts has a special.
Oh, they
today.
do.
They have a special today.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
it's on our website at ksat.com. No one told me. Here I am now. Graduation season comes to an end. We're looking into great grads from universities in our city.
And this morning we're hearing from Mariela Flores, a senior from Our Lady of the Lake University, who's always pushing forward no matter what life throws at her.
Max Massey shares her story.
Maria Flores began her college journey in 2019 here at Our Lady of the Lake University. She was drawn to the small community.
Everyone's just smiling, saying hello. Everyone's always in a good mood here.
In addition to being a student, Flores is also the president of the Sigma Zeta Math and Honor Society, helping start a new organization on campus called Pen Pals.
It's just something to connect students with the sisters.
Despite being involved in so many things, Flores says she was always able to stay organized.
I've never ever lost sleep because of homework or studying for an exam because I don't see the worth in it.
Going to Our Lady of the Lake was a dream come true for her, but the path was never easy. At a young age, her mother suddenly passing away and her father no longer in her life. She had to learn to push forward, not only for herself, but for her mom as well.
I do want to show people that you can do it. Growing up is hard, but you can do it.
Now she hopes to become a bilingual pharmacist, saying there's a huge need. She says there is a lack of Spanish-speaking pharmacists, leaving many without proper care.
I want to be able to help my community that have not been helped yet, because they deserve the same care as anyone else.
Flores will continue her education in the fall at pharmacy school at the University of North Texas Health and Science Center. Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
We're still talking donuts that whole time. Congratulations and good luck to you in the future.
That's all right. Time now, 6:45. Let's check in with Stephen to see if you have a nice, smooth ride while getting that free donut.
Well, most people will have a pretty good commute, but unfortunately, things are slowing down a little bit here at 410 at Jackson Keller. Now, this is a view we showed you earlier. Remember, this is that stalled vehicle that was reported not too far from Vance Jackson Road. In fact, you can see we have multiple TxDOT crews out there. These are Hero trucks working to help that driver out. Anytime you see those emergency lights, just make sure to give those crews plenty of room to get the job done. It was causing a little bit of, as you can see from that shot at TransGuide, a lot of activity out there, but we're not seeing a lot of congestion in those westbound lanes. We'll keep a close eye on that, and hopefully it won't really cause an impact as the commute does get rolling. But giving you a wide look at our map now, you're going to start to see a little bit more of that orange and yellow that tends to build up out there along US 90 if you're heading in from Castroville. That's usually the first place that we detect any slowdown, so just keep that in mind as people are getting the commute rolling. Quick reminder though, over here off FM 1535 Northwest Military Highway, this is wrapping a day. This work starts around 7 in the morning where we're going to see that sidewalk improvement take place. It's going to take us all the way till 6 in the evening. We'll see various lane closures from Loop 1604 to Huebner Road. But other than that, the commute has been pretty good all morning long. As we take one last look at TransGuide, just make sure to check your vehicles before you get out on the roadway and make sure to move over or slow down.
It's no wonder that donuts kind of dominates our conversation. Yeah. We all agree they're pretty darn good.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Especially when they're discounted or free.
Yeah. And they're not free everywhere today, so just there's some deals out there.
Just look for them.
If you have leftovers, just bring them here. So anyway, take a look at this picture. I've never seen a more contented,
I know,
satisfied-looking dog. Maybe it just ate a donut. I don't know, but how does it close like that?
The lighting's just right.
Very pensive.
I said it's like the hills are alive with the sound of music.
Yeah, it's going to break out into song right now.
So there's a field of daisies out in Hondo. How about that?
That is absolutely beautiful. Great shot. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. All right, not the prettiest picture out there. A lot of clouds hanging around. Everything, visibility here in town is very good. We still have that little bit of fog up there around San Marcos. Heading out 10, you might run into some around Seguin and Gonzales. Visibility has dropped down a little bit more. Same thing around Pleasanton right now. Also, again, I've been saying all morning long, watch out for a light little sprinkle or two. Sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds today, a few more clouds at times. Then we're going to be watching some of these cells to develop out here to the west of us, and that's going to be going into especially the evening hours, and some of those, now this is right at 8 o'clock and well beyond our area, but notice how this model really has that thing going out there, and that's where the greatest risk for anything strong to severe is, northwest of our area. But some of those will continue to work their way in toward Rock Springs, just south of Junction, heading in toward Kerr County, Fredericksburg, Blanco, and we're going to have to watch out that some of these are going to be potentially strong and or severe as we go into the evening hours, and then they will be dying on out. The other thing too is we'll have to watch out for a lot of times some of these storm complexes, or these they got a big long name for them. MCS is the abbreviation for it, but they can almost get a mind of their own, and they like to sort of last into the overnight hours. So that'll be something that we have to watch out for. But just looking at what this computer model is showing, then scattered showers tomorrow, and then we have more of those thunderstorms developing then going into tomorrow night. And some of those could have some hefty downpours associated with them as well. There's the risk for the severe weather out to the west later on tonight in our western counties. And again, where you saw where that one bullseye was out there way northwest of our area, that's where the greatest risk for anything severe is going to be. And then tomorrow, there's also in pretty much the same area the risk for a strong to potentially severe storm. So that'll be the thing we have to watch out for, as well as some heavy downpours, especially tomorrow. So throughout the rest of today, 10% chance for a stray little sprinkle or two. We are going to be up through the 70s into the low to mid 80s at noon. Top off at 90 today, sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds. And then as we go into tonight, we're going to have to watch out for some of those stronger thunderstorms out to the west, and those will be going into the evening hours. Tomorrow, a scattered shower here or there during the day, and then the stronger storms, especially out to the west later on tomorrow night, and some of those could have some heavy downpours. We'll have a few scattered showers around the area on Sunday, 84, and then again, one or two showers or thunderstorm here and there each and every day next week. Temperatures are going to be held down just a little bit. So not rain everywhere, especially going into next week or constantly, but at least a few of those showers here and there.
Yeah, enough rain to keep all the temperatures in check.
Yes, and the cloud cover as well.
Thank you.
If we gave you donuts every week until it was 100 degrees, would that be a deal worth making?
Sure.
Okay, cool. All right.
It might be worth it.
I know, right? Yeah. He's thinking how to work off the calories.
How do I make this happen?
Yeah. It's going to be a Stairmaster segment coming up today on SA Live. 6:50 right now.
No, we have donuts on SA Live today.
Perfect timing. 6:50, 72 degrees.
Let's look out there again with Live Cam. Good morning. Happy Friday. It's 72 degrees. We'll be right back.
It's National CPR Week, and today on GMS 8 and 9, we'll be learning how to do hands-only CPR the right way.
We're going to have a guest from the American Heart Association joining us in studio later this morning to do the demonstration live and talk about the importance of knowing how to do CPR. So tune in for that and much more today on GMSA at 9. And before we go, the Scripps National Spelling Bee has a new champion. So Florida 8th grader Dev Shaw won the title last night with the word Samophile. So the correct spelling, P-S-A-M-M-O-P-H-I-L-E. We all knew that, right?
Of course we did.
Of course. It's an organism that prefers or thrives in sandy soils or areas.
Congratulations, Dev.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Time now, 6:55. You're spelling it out? I checked it.
A Samophile.
Committing it to memory?
Yeah.
Here.
Okay.
It's right here.
Yeah, I'm like H-U-H question mark, huh? I don't know what that is.
D-O-N-U-T.
Yeah, but you know what? Congratulations to Dev. Let's get a look at your Friday morning commute. Things have been moving along just fine over here. I was just refreshing some of the textile websites, and information doesn't really show a lot else out there. Just a little bit more traffic, and be on the lookout. We still have that stalled vehicle along Loop 410 westbound at Vance Jackson Road. Not really causing any issues, but a wide look at our map does show we're going to start to see a little bit more congestion, and it does look like a crash may have popped up off of the highway. I'll take a look at that a little bit later on, but overall, good morning over here, Mike.
Okay, so I wonder if this says in sandy areas like Arabian Peninsula, Sahara, would a camel be a Samophile?
No, not necessarily. I think it's like the seagrasses along the beach, stuff like that.
Like
Sahara Desert.
What's funny is if you Google Samophile and hit images, images of Dev Shaw come up, not actual Samophiles.
A little bit of fog. It's starting to get thicker up there in New Braunfels.
Oh, you're right.
We've got temperatures in the 70s right now. A high today up to 90, and then we have to watch out for some of those stronger storms out to the west. So wouldn't a camel be a Samophile? Look that up there.
It doesn't have it.
Yes, apparently it could, because they have a scorpion now, too. There you go.
We're all learning this Friday morning.
So much today.
Yeah, it's an educational program.